Right. So it is now what, 5:22 a.m. Thursday, August 8th, 2024. This is Eastern Standard Time. My sleep pattern is off, obviously, because I should be dead asleep right now. Okay. Gotta start getting ready for work at 6. But I happened to come across, well, I've had a lot of tabs open because I was going to make videos about certain things. And I had this one open for a while now. I just happened to go into it and I got as far as the end of this man talking before she gives her commentary on this. And here we are. Okay. I'm going to go through this and see if we can answer this man's question to an extent.
So this is a question I have asked on my live multiple times, and I thought it's time I bring it to video to reach a wider audience, because this is a question I have for a lot of black men and African men, and I think it's time we start to answer these questions. And
All right. Let's see.
before all you red pill bros come at me, don't. I'm just not the type of person to dwell on the perceived flaws of our women without focusing on ours. I pay attention to both sides. And if you know me, I'm not a panderer. I'm definitely not someone to pander to or try to defend people who are black boys calling me a bullet. No, if you know me, know who I am, the kind of family I come from, the kind of culture I come from, tremendous self-respect. I'm not one to defend people who have known for hating me. This is not about black women.
Okay. Focused on the perceived. Huh. So what is it? Is it perceived but it's not actually there, or is it actually there? I mean, anybody who knows me, you know I say real or supposed all the time, but my thing is, are those things there or not? And the shortcomings of black women, okay, well, if you look all through the 90s and further on, but well, from the 90s up to the 90s, certainly into the 2000s, nobody had a problem with the perceived shortcomings of black men and letting that be voiced. In fact, as you see here today, 2024, they still have no problem with that. But okay, you know what? Without talking about black men, well, there's a problem. Sometimes you need to be able to just slam on women without slamming on men. Sometimes you need to be able to just slam on men without having to bring up women as well, or you know what, maybe we need to drill into black women and not have to bring up black men, drill into Asian men and not have to talk about Asian women, drill into white women and leave white men out of it, body slam Hispanic women or Hispanic men and not touch the Hispanic women at all. Sometimes you have to be able to talk about one group without having to hear, oh, well, what about? So I'm not one of those people where, oh, we have to be dead equal. As close to equal as you get is we slam on both, but you need to slam on one 100% of the time without touching the other one and then go into the other one and not deflect off. I'm not saying that a lot of the problems with any group isn't linked between the various participants or, for lack of a better term, of that group. But yeah, anyway, let's just keep going.
This is about black men, but I need you to answer this question. Are you ready?
This is about black men, so we're not talking about black women. We are zeroing in on black men. Okay. Hopefully we can do that with black women, white men, white women, when the time comes. All right.
I want you to picture a scenario, right? Picture a scenario where a bunch of women are all hanging out.
Fuck. Don't do that shit.
There's a white woman, regular white woman. There's a Jewish woman. There's an Arab woman.
Okay, well, first of all, white and Jewish. Okay. Is this a white Jew or a black Jew? Is this a Jew from I don't know, Eastern Europe or whatever, or is this a Jew from, where the hell are black Jews mainly? Ethiopia, I think? That area. So there already we're starting to run into a few problems. I mean, you go from race to religious, religious ethnicity, if that's even a thing. Uh,
There's a Chinese woman. There's an Indian woman.
so from race to religion to nationality, two nationalities. Okay.
There's a Mexican woman, a Filipina, a Black American, and an African woman. So
I'll be getting on these. What the fuck do they call themselves now? FBAs. I'll be slamming on them in a moment. Well, not a moment, in a separate video. But let's just be honest here. You said a Chinese woman. You didn't say Chinese and then Japanese and then Korean, Thai, Laos, Burma. You just said Chinese, and that's East Asian. Okay. You say Black American, then you say African. Black. All right. Let's just black. So, yeah.
that makes 9 women hanging around, just hanging around, chilling. Just
Again. A bunch of women just sitting,
drinking, enjoying the day.
drinking. Drinks are involved. Great. Here we go. And so now black men got to go answer this fucking question because a bunch of bitches are sitting here.
And then out of nowhere, conversation starts getting a little spicy. Starts getting spicy. The spice levels starts going up, and then out of nowhere, the white woman just gets up and is like, you know what? Y'all not going to do this with me. I'm white. Our men control governments. You're not going to play with me. Everyone's like, what? The Chinese woman.
Okay. Control governments. Of where? I mean, you can sit here and talk about, oh my God, white supremacy is global and this and that. Okay, fine. But our men control governments. Of where? Britain? Okay, fine. Okay. Of America? Okay, fine. Do you control governments of Micronesia? Do you control governments of the UAE? Do white men control governments of China? Do white men control governments of, I don't know, Azerbaijan? You know, with the exception of perhaps South Africa, I don't really think white people are controlling the government, at least directly. I mean, again, white supremacy and blah, 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 global and dominance. And directly of, I don't know, Congo, or, you know, just.
Gets up is like, first of all, I'm a Chinese woman. Our men run construction. No, sorry, our men run manufacturing. If you want to build anything in this world, you need a Chinese man. So watch what you say to me.
Okay. That certainly seems okay. Of course, you're going to start asking, okay, well, is it built good? But stuff, high quality shit comes from China, just like BS comes from China. So I'm not going to play that game. All of these the anchor chargers, what is it? This shit right here. These anchor chargers, the anchor power cords, these are high quality items, okay? Anchor, Anker, is a Chinese company, from what I understand. Chinese company making Chinese stuff from China. This stuff is high quality. So, you know, fine. Just because it's from China does not mean it's low quality. Hell, your iPhones, I believe, are made in China. Designed in the US, but made in China. So it depends on how much money is put into it and how good you want the quality. Manufacturing. Okay, and then you have to ask yourself, you're sitting here talking about we run this, but what do you have to do to be able to run that? are the people in China who are making these things, are they making a decent enough wage to where they have a good standard of living, or are they packed in like sardines in freaking, if anybody knows the movie Kung Fu Hustle, in that slum area? Remember that? Yeah. For your boys, for your men, oh Chinese woman, to be able to run that shit, okay, to the point where you have killed off anyone else's ability to compete with you, what do you have to do to your own people, to your own men? Okay, well, actually, no, there are women there that are also in those factories as well, right? Foxconn, is this thing on? Foxconn, y'all still have those nets trying to catch people jumping? You know, so is that really a flex, madam? Is it really a flex that that your men control this shit when your peoples as a whole are effectively, and I don't really want to say this to try to compare it to, because there is no comparison, but slaves.
Everyone's like, okay. And then the Indian.
And by the way, depending on how I got to start getting ready for work at 6, so I might not finish this entire thing. So there's that. Obviously, I'll come back to this and splice together and edit and whatever the fuck.
Girl gets up, is like, first of all, I'm Indian. Our men run tech. If you want tech, and if you want anything to work on your phone, you want your laptop, anything to run, you need Indian men. Don't mess with me. Everyone's like, okay.
Okay. That seems to make sense. I mean, you could also say medicine, I suppose. Ain't no doctors without Indians, but I suppose tech might be the more standard issue route, or a stereotypical route. Harold and Kumar, Asian and East Asian, East Indian. Yeah, except that really has not been the case by and large since, I mean, it generally is the case, yeah, but it has not been the case to the degree that he's talking about since probably 2015. Okay. And now in today's day and age, we're now finding, I don't know how old this video was that she is, this is her video, but his video is separate. I don't know how long ago his video was. But well, first of all, it's American companies that are running tech, okay? American companies founded here in America, and so there's that. East Indians come in, the East Indian men, okay, fine. But I noticed nothing's really coming out of India, even though a lot of them come here, learn whatever, and head back to India. I don't really see a lot of stuff coming out of India, or anything for that matter. Okay. So they might run tech, supposedly. But to be running something in the confines of an American or white-owned company, be it through shareholders or whatever, I mean, if that's the minimum, then, you can sit here and say black people run entertainment even though they don't own it. They run entertainment. Nobody's getting entertained. In fact, we'll get to that in a moment. But as far as them running or owning it, running or owning, I mean, do they own it? No, not really. Not really. Most if not all of the intellectual property rights or whatever is in the U.S., not in India. So, yeah. But, all right, let's keep going.
Okay. The Mexican woman gets up. She's like, Los Tigres del Nortes.
Whatever.
Don't fuck with me. If you need a roof over your head, our men run construction. Don't play with me. Mexican men run construction. You play with me, I'ma holla at Jose, and it's over for you.
Once again, okay. And yes, certainly on the surface that seems correct. My thing is, what was happening? Well, a couple of things to this. Number one, sorry, little Maria, or I guess Chiquita, the freaking Brazilian bitch with the whatever. First of all, Jose wouldn't be here if sounding racist. Jose wouldn't be here if everything was dead equal and actually functioning. Okay? Neither you nor him can really be talking all that kind of strong, considering ICE is just a phone call away. But the other thing is, apart from the fact that you all probably shouldn't even be here, by and large, might have been born here, but had your parents not illegally come here, or grandparents, you wouldn't have been here. How were people... before you all came here in the 90s, probably, right? That was a huge first influx, right? How were houses getting built before then? How were roofs getting built before then? Or was it just 4 walls, a floor, and then permanent skylight, right? Who was doing that before you all got here? I mean, you're sitting here acting as though if you all go, nobody knows how to do roofs. Or sort of construction. How are things getting constructed before the 90s when the mass amount of Hispanics came, 90s, 80s, maybe especially 90s, came in? So, yes, you might run it now. Again, those construction companies are more than likely owned not by you, but, but how was this done before you got here? And if you all decide to say, fuck it, you know what? We're going to go back to our home country and rebuild our shit now that we learned all this stuff. Who's going to build it in America? It actually might not be who you think. Is it even a who?
I was like, okay. The Jewish woman was like, I know you all don't keep your money under your bed, so as long as you got it in the bank, watch what you say. Everyone's like, ooh, okay.
Ah, yes, the Jews. The Jews and their banking. That's a good one, actually. The Jews and their banking. Jews make up how much percentage of any one country outside of Israel, much less the world? And I am to understand that without the Jews, banking would fail completely. Nobody else knows how to do banking apart from I wanted to come up with a stereotypical Jewish, with some stereotypical Jewish name like Tyrone is black and Chad is white and Jose is Mexican or whatever. I don't know, Zhang is East Asian. Patel, Adam Patel, I don't know, East Indian. Sanchez. Hispanic, right? Spanish, Hispanic, Latino, whichever is the correct term today. Jew. Is Yetzel, is that even a word? Yentl? Yetzel? Lentil? Whatever. Just Jew. They run banking. Okay. Is it 100% Jewish? Or is it just a few Jews sprinkled in what again is a white and probably mainly non-Jewish system, right? Okay. With money that is vast majority not Jewish. Okay. See, yeah. And then considering how the markets are going, and what, Japan just crashed right now, although you could say, well, that's not George, that's Japan. Yeah, it's all connected. And the cyclical, just, let me not even get into that. But my main thing is, are you sure we can't keep it under our mattress if the Jews fuck around too much? You know? But your men run banking. Okay. Once again, before the Jews came through, who was doing banking? Anyway, how much do you really need Jews for banking when most of banking is scripted out and automated? Anyway.
The Arab woman is like, well, I'm sure you all need gas. Arab men, we control oil. That's us. Don't play with us. Everyone's like, okay, Arab.
Okay, yes, you have your oil. You have your oil. All right. And I know people might come with the, yeah, well, that's why Tesla is, and that's why electric cars is, yeah, but. Electric cars is not the end of oil as people like to think it is. It really isn't. My thing is, though, are you sure we need oil? Are you sure we need oil? Do we need oil, or is it just that people that have a financial best interest in oil staying around until they can gradually wean themselves off are keeping it here? Because as much as electric cars are not the death blow to oil or to fossil fuels as people would like to think, anybody who knows anything about electricity knows that it is not a power source, it is a byproduct of some other reaction. And usually, if not always, that's some sort of fossil fuel burning, be it coal, oil, or some other business. Okay? Oil is in a lot of things. There's what, 7 gallons of oil in every tire. If that one guy I forgot his name, he killed himself. If he's correct. But as far as gas or electric or energy, no, oil is not needed. It's just what's here. And because people would rather not blow the money to get off of it. So go on ahead and pipe down little Zainab. Just your men's control oil, but that's just not going to be here forever. Okay. What is going to be here is getting increasingly harder harder and not worth it to try to get, right? And you go blow more energy to go and get it than it costs, than the energy you're going to get out of it. Math tells you there's no point. So you might want to pipe down, because outside of that, there's only renewables. I mean, sure, there's nuclear, but okay. But your men control this. Supposedly. Your men control it because the U.S. allows you to control it. Okay. You give the U.S. oil, they protect you. That whole petrodollar business, which I believe actually ended recently. That agreement or some shit like that. Okay. So again, the only reason why your men control the oil is because the U.S. gives you protection and gives you military equipment in exchange for that shit. It's not because you can stop them from taking it if they decide, you know what, this belongs to us now. And that's that. So do be careful how you go running your mouth there about what your men control.
Girl, the Filipina is like, okay, I see what you're doing. Well, me and my girls, we have totally taken over the nursing industry. And have you noticed something? Our men are slowly taking over. In 10 years, none of you bitches can get a vaccine without a Filipino man, and we will all be housewives. So, checkmate. Everyone's like, oh, okay.
This one's easy. There is someone else that you Filipinas need to worry about. Caribbean women. Caribbean women. My mom is a registered pharmacy down in Jamaica. Okay. I mean, it's long expired, but the fact is she was. Okay. Pretty much every single female in my, related to me, outside of my sister actually, but every single female in my near relatives are all in nursing, are all either nurses or doctors. Okay. Some of the men too, but the men are usually either law or tech, law or tech. So y'all Filipinos can sit down and shut up, you and your mans. Okay. Because when it comes down to it, Caribbean women have that market cornered for the blacks, right? So there's, go past 5 Caribbean women, be they Jamaica, Trinidad, wherever, you'll probably run across 4 that are in nursing or a doctor or of some sort, medical doctor. So there's that.
So black men, in this scenario, what have we given black women and African women to brag about or clap back about?
First thing is, why the hell? Oh, but actually, no, let me just ask this right now. It's 5:50. I'm going to have to probably come back to this later. First of all, why the hell are you women, black women, African women, black? Why the hell are you there with those women in the first place? Okay? Why are you there with those women in the first place? White women, I don't think we need to go through the history with them and their men's. And while a lot of these other groups have not done anything directly to us, probably least of all East Asian and East Indian, okay, most if not all of them, all of them have pretty much sided with white supremacy and bow down and bow out as a whole to white supremacy and the white dominant. Why the hell are you talking to them? Why are you sitting there getting drinks with them in the first place? That's the first thing. That's the first problem. That's the first problem right there. You shouldn't even be sitting here talking with these bitches. Just stay simple nod as a mortal human on this planet and then go on about your business. Sitting there talking to them like that's why when I heard a bunch of women sitting down talking, yeah, well, you know, what have black men given black women to go and brag to these other people? You know what? I'll bite. I'll go on ahead and go with your story and say nothing. Because I didn't hear you give anything. Okay, so if you had something, I'm sure you would say it. Okay, so let me just so let's go on ahead and say that. Is that true? No, but we'll go ahead and say that. Right. Why? Why have black men not given black women anything to go to these other groups of women at the happy hour or whatever, wherever the fuck they are, the spa, whatever, to brag about? Did you ever think to ask that, man? Did you ever think to ask that? Is it because black men haven't tried? I'll use the U.S. as an example. Good old standard issue Black Wall Street. That's not the only example I can come with, but that is probably the most famous of the unknown or little known examples outside of outside of black people, right? Black men had all of those things. And this is the black Americans, who we'll call black Americans, but really they weren't on this FBA crap because they knew full well, hey, they knew the history, right? So we could say Africans, but they had no choice but to do for themselves. And they did for themselves. And they outdid the whites. The same whites that were sitting here talking about how they were oh so... In fact, you know what? I'm just sitting here talking about blacks and whites. Let me go back to my history real quick. No, it wasn't there. History. Where is that thing? Where is that thing? Where is that thing? Where is that thing? This is what happens when you let autoplay go. You fall asleep and you let autoplay go. Crap. This one right here. I'm not going to play this.
What was it about these?
This is a very interesting video. You should watch this video. And then you can come back to this. Right. Do not actually break away from this video and go watch that. Watch this video first in its entirety and then go watch that. Right. But what did black people not try? Yes, they did try. And when they tried, and they tried a number of times, they kept getting destroyed. No other group of people come to America and try and get destroyed the way black people come and try. Well, the ones that were here anyway, that were brought here and didn't exactly come. They tried, they pulled themselves up by their bootstraps, and they got destroyed. Other groups of people come, they try, they don't get destroyed. When was the last time you heard Little Italy or Little whatever, Little fill in the blank, Little Chinatown, Little Korea, Little whatever, getting destroyed? Yet Black Wall Street comes where black people did for themselves, were not a burden on the system or anything, self-sufficient, and they got destroyed by the whites. They tried a number of times and they kept getting destroyed up until the 1960s, where they destroyed them and then effectively made it permanent through destroying the black family. Here, black women, here's some free shit. Just get rid of that nigga out the house. And then you can sit here and talk about hypergamy, this or whatever the hell else, or whatever other BS bullshit. Actually, not so much BS, but whatever. Split up until what we have today, at least with Black Americans. Okay. Africans, same thing. Africans, same thing. Similar thing. Always got to ask yourself, if Africa was left alone, or if they had an open door policy with all of Africa the way they did with China, and the Chinese or the East Asians were enslaved the way Africans were, would you be sitting here saying what you're saying right now, or would some Asian dude be saying this thing to Asian men? While Asian women are sitting there trying to suck and fuck as many black dudes as possible the way they are, the way so many of them seem to be with white guys. Okay. And the reason why it is so pronounced is because this didn't happen 10,000 BC to where everybody has been destroyed and rebuilt, so you just didn't rebuild when everybody was down at zero. No, this is actually quite recent. All of this is quite recent. Okay? And the effects are still here to this day. Okay? Take some of the oldest black people in the world, and they probably were alive when they were kids. You know, they might be in their 90s or even over 100 now, but when they were kids, they probably had family members that used to be slaves. Like family members that are alive that used to be slaves. This shit is very recent. And in today's day and age, it becomes permanent because unlike, say, when Babylon fell or Rome fell, and it's like, okay, this whole place can get taken over. The only way this thing... Actually, I can't even say that now. I was about to say the only way that this thing gets reversed is if America physically goes down. Just the way Babylon is gone, the way Rome is gone. If America is just gone, right? And it's just the land that's left and then something else happens. But in today's day and age with technology mainly, and here we go. 6 o'clock, gotta get ready. With the way technology goes, that might not work. One place goes down and everybody else... The reason why, and I don't have any studies on this or whatever the hell, but the reason why it is so hard now for black people, as effectively the last people that went through all of what was going on from, I don't know, shit, civilizations on down when, I don't know, after Adam and Eve or primordial ooze, whatever you subscribe to, straight on down to conquests of different countries and all that stuff, formation of countries and conquests and all that, all throughout history. Black people were the dead last ones before technology goes like this up until here, technology takes it off. Right? But again, if black people were just left alone to begin with, but left alone after slavery ended, in America, in the Caribbean, in Africa, just everywhere, just left alone, rather than the influence you see. Africa right now, let's just be honest, if Africans controlled Africa, shit would be a lot different. A lot different. And the reason why they don't is not because they don't want to, but because number one, well, and really no order of importance, but number one, let's get it out in some logical order, the corrupt politicians there that get rich at the cost of the people. And number two, the white supremacist influence to where you Jews, Jewish women with your Jewish men in your banks and all that stuff. In fact, all of you. If Africa closes its doors and says Africa for Africans, African resources for Africans, the rest of the world drops, and they all know this. I saw some video somewhere, probably like months ago in my history, where some dude, forgot his name, let it be known, hey, without Africa and the resources specifically, plus or minus the people, but the resource specifically, Europe goes down, and we are going to make sure that that doesn't happen. We're going to make sure Africa stays the way it is so that the rest of us can function. Okay. And there you have it. So, as far as Africans, that's that. As far as everybody else outside of Africa, okay, it is because, and that brings me into this, which is a video that I was working on, this is going to be a separate video. It's a video I was working on, racism in the upper class. Yeah, this is something I know a bit about, even though I'm not rich like this bitch, growing up black and rich. Having grown up around rich, wealthy, and powerful people, K through 12, that video's coming. Could you imagine what would happen if black people end up being number one? Black women are the standard of beauty. Black men are the ones that dominate everything, white supremacy style. You think anybody wants that? I don't think it needs to go without saying that white people don't want that, considering, again, it's not like hundreds of thousands of years passed between what they as a group did to black people, right? And then all the other groups who may not have done anything directly to black people, but stood by and sided with white supremacy just to, I guess, path of least resistance, or, oh shit, I don't want that shit happening to me, what happened to them blacks. And now black people as a whole, right? Where the black women can walk into this stupid round table of these bitches and be like, hey, our men run shit, we're the standard of beauty. And all these other bitches gotta just bow down, yes missus, yes madam, yes goddess, queen, earth, mother goddess. Look, it is in no one's best interest except black people that black people get to the top. Okay? Whites are probably going to be looking over their shoulder left and right, and all these other non-black, non-white groups are going to be like, they might remember how we were not all that helpful to them as a whole, minus individual instances of us doing whatever. So you have to ask yourself, why is it that black men don't control stuff? We run things. We do run things, but we don't control much of anything. Every time we try to, that's when the real racism starts. It doesn't start while you're at the ground in the streets marching and all that stuff. It starts when you start being able to affect people's lives and affect mortal human life on this planet. All right? Nope. That's not that. That's this.
What have we given our women to brag about? What aspect of this world, what industry, what important part of infrastructure in this world do black men control? African men, the entire continent of Africa that belongs to us, what part of it do we control? That's my question. What do we control? And also, before you guys come at me, I know you red pill niggas again. Y'all gonna come at me on some, oh, we out earn Latino man, blah, blah, blah. Fine. Do you remember Ron DeSantis a couple years ago, was it 2 years ago, talking all of that shit about Latino men? Did you see what happened? I could just picture the scenario. Hector gets his phone, picks up the phone, calls the Jose, is like, yo, Jose, hey, fool, you want to go somewhere? You want to go on a vacation or something? It's like, for vacation, you crazy fool? I got work to... I see what yeah, let's go on that vacation. The Mexican community, the Latino community say, you know what, you want to play with us? We're not going to work. It took 3 days. Ron DeSantis came back out and literally apologized. And it's not spoken about. That is what destroyed his entire political, like that is what destroyed his drive, his up, whatever the hell you want to call it, as a politician. Because he came out hardcore racist and was put in a position where he was forced to apologize to those people. That was it. Ron DeSantis is over. Trump could not pick him. It was over for him.
Okay. Now, they were able to do that despite the fact that they are still battling the standard issue stuff. Oh my God, ICE this and illegal immigrants that and no papers this. Okay, but they were able to do that. Nice example. There's nothing stopping black people as a whole from doing that as well with this whole entertainment industry. Okay? Hey, until shit changes with these cops and the laws and the way black people are policed, until things change in the way just things are done, even if it's not quote unquote legal, but it still happens anyway and it still goes through. Yeah, you know what? No more NBA. You know what? No more NFL. You know what? No more... Oh wow, the music. Yeah, you know what? That's pretty much the end of the music. You all go ahead and keep trying to... You go ahead and try to come up with some nice music. Okay? They could just as easily do that as well. Even though black people don't control anything. Don't control it, but you know what? Ultimate control comes from the people that you need to run this shit. And this is what I suppose, what is it? Is it not socialism or communism? One of those isms was going about. It's like, you know, you can sit here and talk about how the slaves don't control anything. Not that you want to be slaves, but if you need the slaves to be able to do this shit, especially since you either A, can't, or B, won't, and or B, won't do it yourself, who really controls who? Because if the slaves just say, well, you know what, if you kill us, you still don't get it anyway, and we're not doing it, so the net effect is the same. Slight difference might be if you try to kill us, we might end up killing you in preservation of ourselves. You see? So, in your example, the Hispanics were the slaves. No roofs getting built. Ron DeSantis, what the fuck is that dude? Florida? No roofs probably need to get built anyway, considering how that place is always in some fucking hurricane, tornado zone or some bullshit like that. Those roofs keep getting blown the fuck off anyway. Okay, so maybe it is a bit of a waste. Maybe they do need to go on a vacation. Okay? Jose and Sanchez need to head over to, I don't know, wherever. Go chill out. Take Maria and Esmeralda with you. Mariana, whatever the fuck her name is. With y'all, and y'all have fun. But they were the slaves, and they said, you know what? No more slaving. We're not working. And Ron DeSantis had to get to sucking that dick, right? Nothing stopping black people from doing the exact same thing. Okay. Why don't they? Well, that's something else. And at this note, it is now 6:11. I need to go get ready for work. Need to go get ready for work. So I will come back to this, and actually, you know what? Let me see.
Every group of men in this country, or wherever you want to call it, no, they have an aspect, an important aspect of society that they control. Black men, what do we control? I'm not talking about our earnings. Yes, when you go look at earnings, black men, we do good. Regardless of what people say about us, the data shows we're doing amazing. But as a collective, what do we control? Music? Nope. Jewish men control that. Unlucky enough for a lot of you, we don't live in a world where you could just go walk up to a woman and take what you want. So the sexual prowess that we're known for, we're only known for it because the people who control it, women, give us access to it.
I'll be getting on that in another video, considering that apparently, I mean, the way women tell it, women as a whole, white women specifically, and especially the white feminists, women are just getting gang raped left and right. So what are the, how are you giving access to, I'll get in on that in the next video. That is one of the many videos that I've been wanting to get in on, that whole bear thing. I wanted to dig into that. Yeah, I can't really finish all of this right now. I gotta get ready for work, and of course I don't take YouTube seriously enough to call in or call off work, which I really could do, and they're telling me that I have to take time off before this whole election thing starts up, so I need to take some time off, but I'm not doing that today. Yeah, the whole women and black hyper masculinity. Okay, that's something else. Music, no, the Jews control that. Okay, again, literally what I just said about the whole. Which Jew has put out music, like actually written music? Okay. Which Jew has actually written music that's all over the world and everything? Hispanics control construction. Okay, well, who, and that's the example you give. Okay. Do they own the companies that they're hiring these illegals and these day workers at? Okay. East Indians run tech. Do they own the tech companies? I don't know of a single East Indian tech company out there. AMD is American, and yes, okay, we can sit here and talk about, oh my God, who's really owns it, considering stocks and all this shit. But let's not play dumb here, okay? Jaguar is an Indian company, as far as last time I checked. Tata Motors owns them. But when you hear Jaguar, you think European because it started in Britain. All right, let's not play dumb here. AMD, American. Intel, American. Nvidia, American. ATI, now part of AMD with the whole Radeon, American. Oracle, American. Microsoft, American. Apple, American. Yes. Might be wall-to-wall East Indians and maybe some East Asians sprinkled in, and every now and then you might find a white or a black or something. American company. Made in America by some probably white American or group of whites. Started, founded. So yeah, they run it, but they don't own it. Black people, we run entertainment, even though we more or less don't own it. Tyler Perry, Oprah, Fogg. We run entertainment. Nobody is living a happy and pumped up life without black people. Okay? No. Okay? We run the NBA, we run the NFL. Probably don't own this stuff again, but we. Just in your example. Playing, I mean, hey, I'm in your house, playing your game by your rules, man. So there's that. Again, and anyway, again, it is now 6:17. Let me stop right here, and I will bring this back up later. Right, and so we're back. We are back. If you got this far in the video, it has actually not been less than 24 hours. It has been days, if not probably over a week since where I left off. Man, this stuff is out when it's out, man. Good Lord. But much like a lot of these other videos, all these other videos, both on this computer as well as on my server, I still have the tabs up. This computer has not been restarted or turned off in over a month. It's just been put to sleep. But let us continue. Because again, I'm not going to go into her whole 37-minute, 12 seconds video and then go through what she says. I'm just going through what the dude says. So let us do that. That is that like that. That is that like that. And it's like here. So we left off where we left off. 6 minutes 4 seconds. Let us see what else we have here. Okay.
What do we control, black men? I think this is a valid question, and my suggestion, I'm no voice, I'm nothing. We don't live in a world where you could just go walk up to a woman and take what you want. So the sexual prowess that we're known for, we're only known for it because the people who control it, women, give us access to it.
I've already discussed that. I actually replayed that entire first part before I went to work. I replayed that because obviously excuse me. Because with like what, days if not a week gone by, I completely lost track of all this. So I had to refresh my mind here. I already went through all that, so we'll just keep going.
What do we control, black men? I think this is a valid question, and my suggestion, I'm no voice, I'm nothing. My suggestion would be, let's take over the garbage industry. Let's control America's trash. In New York, I don't know about any other way. In New York City, do you know what it costs, at least in my neighborhood, do you know what it will cost to start a recycling business? $25,000, and that's on the higher end, $25,000 to start a recycling business. There's so many brothers in trash. Excuse my choice of words, but there's so many brothers in trash that make.
Sorry to pause it, but this thing just went off saying, oh, there might be performance issues, but it seems like it's back now.
Good money. Why can't we come together collectively? Why can't we imagine imagine in America where black men control trash. We control the trash industry in America. Someone comes out and talks shit about black men, and we're like, oh, that's how it's gonna be? Okay. And for 1 week, America's trash is not picked up.
Okay. And that sounds actually rather great on the surface. It actually does sound reasonable. Obviously, it's not prestigious, okay, but it does seem to work. I hate to have to say this, I really hate to have to say this. However, here's going to be the problem when we try to play, and hey, this now brings back, oh, by the way, this again, much like the other part, is off the cover, I'm doing this on the fly. I had nothing scripted. This is once again the other reason, or this adds to the seemingly infinite number of reasons why I was wondering why the hell this black women were hanging around these other women. Because, you see, these other women can sit here and make these threats, and even though they can make these threats, I'll get to that in a second, at the end of what I'm about to say here. But black people cannot really make those kinds of threats. Not really, because now, where we are now, but if what he said came true, if what he said was actually reality, okay? Let's not say anything about these niggeros, because then the planet's going to be stinking. Okay. The moment somebody forgets that, and then black people make the threats and actually do what you say they say to do, hey, this place is smelling like straight ass and toe jam now because somebody went and said something less than favorable about black people, their nose, their afros, whatever the hell, I don't know. Skin color, whatever. Every single group is going to try to find some way to replace blacks. And this now is where I go into saying, or where I said, these other groups of women and these other people, they really can't say much. It's not here now. It's not here now. Obviously, it's not here now. Automation, AI, and robots with full functions, indistinguishable from humans, it's not here now. And it might not even be here in the lifetime of Gen Alpha, really. Maybe not. Maybe not. Gen Alpha is what I have come to understand comes after Gen Z. And God fucking help us, good Lord. It is my belief that sooner or later, if this planet isn't destroyed, if humans don't go extinct, either of their own doing or because the creator of all of existence in the universe just says, you know what, fuck it, right? That will happen. Some Matrix / Star Trek / Jetsons type business will happen, okay? But I don't think it's going to be in our lifetime. However, they are going to want to replace black people. They do not want black people having that much power over anything. Certainly nothing of life or death consequence. Okay? Black people are keeping away disease by keeping the planet clean. Or, you know what, okay, the U.S., all right, okay, we'll stick with the Western world, U.S., U.K., Europe, whatever, okay, fine. And then they decide to say, you know what, screw it. We don't like the way these cops are treating us. We don't like the way you all are talking about us behind our back whenever we leave. And then when we come in the room, all of a sudden you're dead quiet and with the shifty eyes looking at each other. And then when we leave, you start talking again. Nah, we don't like it. They're not going to put up with that. These other people, again, with the automation and the tech and the AI, not here yet, but it's getting there and it will get there at some point. They won't be able to say that stuff either. As far as health goes with the Filipinas and all that stuff, you eat a plant-based raw food diet, minimal meats. As far as drink, it's pretty much just water. Okay, or some other all-natural liquids, no alcohol. That kind of stuff, get your exercise. You pretty much don't need the entire medical industry. Okay, short of if you go and break a bone or something. Okay, I'm not about to tell you to go eat some kale or something, or some acai berries. Okay, no. But outside of that, outside of those extreme repairs, as far as the maintenance goes of mortal humans and their biological bodies, you do not need the entire medical industry if you just did that. Okay, so there's that. Money. What is money again? Again, do you need the Jews for money? No. All this money is, most of the money is in computers right now. Okay, it's not in physical paper. I think only, maybe 2% of the money on planet Earth, or at least certainly in the Western world, is in physical form. Most of it is electronic. Once again, automation, AI, and all that business. Construction, once again, automation, AI, and all that business. Anybody who's seen that Zeitgeist movie, and that was from way back in like 2007 or something, and apparently this technology is actually quite old. They're trying to 3D print houses. Sorry, Jose. Sorry, Sanchez, Umberto, and all that. And Maria and Isabella running the taco shop come lunchtimes with a taco van. Sorry. They have been trying to 3D print entire houses right now. Okay? So, all of these women that are sitting here talking about how their men run shit, and then as far as government goes, well, shit, just look at the government right now in the U.S. as of... I mean, just any at all, just all throughout history, but as of right now, Friday, August 16th, 2024, at 12:06 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, look at the government. White women, shut the fuck up. You really have nothing. It is not a flex that white men can run the government right now. Right now, as it stands, it's not really a flex. Okay? Everything... And hell, that's not even including the thoughts and perceptions, theories, and beliefs of those that subscribe to things like what is espoused in the Zeitgeist movies. Okay? With all that Venus Project, this and that. Buckminster Fuller and all that. Fact is, everybody can be replaced. Everybody can be replaced. All of the things that take human beings, race irrespective, race, gender, sex, whatever, irrespective, most if not all of you all can be replaced with some form or fashion of automation. And this is before even AI here, right? So in the future, bringing it back to black people and trash, I don't see how that can't get automated as well. Everybody can be replaced. Everybody can be replaced. Everybody can be replaced. Okay? Crap economy aside right now, that is partially the reason why so many people, especially Gen Y on down, cannot find a job right now. Inflation is probably the overarching reason. Okay, fine. But if it was 1990s economy, but with... the automation and the AI and all this and today's advancements and today's technology, but 1990s economy, it would be because of AI and automation why Gen Y and Gen Z on down can't find jobs. All of this can be replaced. I mean, well, obviously it can be replaced. The humans can be replaced and can be permanently replaced. Okay? So it's not... Yeah, that might be great now. Sure, great now. In these last hours, the final stages, before humans as a whole are going to have to figure something out. UBI, Universal Basic Income, or something else, or be like, hey, this is as good as it's going to get, Garden of Eden style. Nobody works. Everybody just gets everything for free to live on this planet, much like everything else. Every other living thing is living here free on this planet. But short of that, everything can and will be replaced. Every human thing can and will be replaced. Okay? So, we can sit here and talk about what we can try to corner and control. It's not going to work. And even entertainment right now. I mean, let's look at entertainment right now before I continue with whatever is the end of this guy's, what he's saying. Probably going to make another video on this, but I can tell you this right now. With that it was that dude that went and made a Drake song, or Drake and or Kendrick, or he went and made some song with the voice of some famous dude. And that song went viral, and, you know, this was way back. This is maybe like a year or so back. It was completely AI generated, but but it used their real voice. And that thing was straight up fire from what I've come to understand. I can tell you right now, in fact, when I get my place, I'll have a whole bunch of, obviously my studio is going to look different, but I'm going to have a whole bunch of posters and stuff up of stuff. Again, with the AI. And this is where the film industry, and I guess black people need to watch out for this with entertainment as a whole. I would rather look at some of these AI generated images, especially with how good I've seen it gotten in this short span of time. I would rather look at them in movies and stuff than look at real people. And I don't care what anybody wants to say about that. So that's a separate video. But, what's that going to say for the movie industry, be it Hollywood traditional or the whole Netflix, Amazon Studios type stuff? If AI has taken over and they don't have to pay any mortal human anything. Okay. We can all be replaced.
What do you think will happen then? I think every single politician will come out, get on his knees and beg us. Because do you understand how quickly a politician will get voted out if their neighborhood starts to stink?
Okay, true. I'll give you that. But again, in the short term, long term, they're not going to want that to happen again. Like, okay, Ron DeSantis, he got messed up messing with these Hispanics or pissing them off. Whoever comes after him, I don't think they're going to want to be under such, I don't think they're going to be under that kind of chokehold. So, yeah.
But yeah, it's a very important question that we need to ask ourselves as black men. What do we control? And those of you who do things for women, what have we given our women to brag about? What have we given our women to clap back? Y'all can say all this, we out-earned Mexican men, we out-earned them. Okay, we out-earned them, our women out-earned them. The women can clap back and say, if you want a roof over your head, I need you to shut the fuck up. What have we given our women to clap back with? That's a very important question we need to ask ourselves, black men. Thank you.
This is a very, very valid question. I saw this video and it got me thinking. And after I pondered on this question
I'm going to let her talk for a little bit. I've actually never heard what she had to say on this. I just got halfway through what this man said, made this video. So, again, I am not about to go through all 37 minutes, 12 seconds of this video, but but I'm going to see what she has to say. Obviously, go give her the views. Thank you. So there's that also.
A very good wow. I'm like, this is a much needed question, and a question that I believe needs to go far and near. Not because, the men needs to get bashed, but because I believe this question is going to lead us to a point where we are going to, as a people, start thinking. And when you start thinking as a people, it's very good. It's very important that we are thinking as a people. And this is not me saying that we are not thinking as a people, but, we can think some more. There's always room for improvement. And I feel like this question is going to create a situation where we are going to start seeing that improvement. Because when people start thinking, they're like, oh yeah, maybe there is a problem. What can I do differently? What can we do differently? What steps can we take? This is how you start conversations. Again, not to bash, and I hope this is not going to happen in the comments. Please, can we be adults and not do that? Please. So it's for this reason, the reason of improving ourselves as a people. That's why I want to share this video. Well, I'm going to share the very few thoughts that I have. First of all, I want to give mighty kudos to the brothers in the comment section of this video.
Oh, well, there you go. I believe I just explained that. So there's that. Why? Okay. We don't control anything in this epoch, however you want to pronounce it. The question we need to answer, after that is why don't we control anything? Okay.
Because the way they responded to it is amazing. Usually when I come back conversations like this on the internet.
Oh, yes. Speaking of that, offered an answer and a solution. How can we take over a sector? I'm generally interested. Yeah, that's the one thing that it just slipped my mind, even though I had thought about it. As far as the trash specifically, I don't know how it is in New York, but like here in Maryland, that is, as far as I know, run by the government. So the government does that, and just like how when government shutdowns happen, trash doesn't get collected. Although, if I'm not mistaken, that's not federal. That's run by each individual state or perhaps maybe county. So why the hell was trash not being collected some of those times when there was... No, it was in D.C. the trash wasn't getting collected because that's federal. All of D.C., the actual diamond, Washington, D.C. itself is owned by Congress, so that's federal. So when that shit shuts down, that trash doesn't get collected. Right, okay. I was wondering why the hell that was. Okay, so, but the point is, again, government. It's run by the government. It's not a private entity, you know. Certain things you probably do not want, actually probably a lot of things, but certain things you probably don't want privately owned. Trash, access to water, the military, you know. Like certain things you probably should not privatize. And obviously there's a lot of things they shouldn't privatize, but they still do. Okay. So yeah, that you know, he offered a solution. I'm not sure how well that solution would work. I mean, I was more thinking long term into the distant future, from long term to extra long term. I don't want to say light years, even though I think, despite what the term light years actually means, actually means by definition, I think people think of light years as time in the future when it's really just distance. So let me not use light years because I think people should know that that's not time. Way off into the future. Okay? Distance into light years into the future, distance into the future. Put it like that. Okay. That's what I was thinking about, but I didn't even think about the immediate term right here. The immediate term right here is that this shit's run by the government, and they're probably, and rightfully so, should not privatize some shit like that. And here's the reason why you don't, because of literally what you just went and said. Hey, you start treating us bad, we stop doing this, and then all of a sudden it goes bad, and again, nobody's gonna put up with that, you know. As far as Jose and them saying, hey, DeSantis, lick a dick, motherfucker, like, they can say that to a certain extent, but after a while it's gonna be like, you going ahead and stay wherever the hell you're at. We're going to go get somebody else. We're going to go bring in either some more of your peoples from over there that are just like, screw it, or somebody from somewhere else, or whatever. Or just jack up these house prices and actually have a legitimate reason this time because, hey, we're using American labor. We're using Chad, and Chad isn't going to work for less than $10,000 an hour, so these houses are now going to cost trillions. Okay. Even though they cost trillions now, despite the slave labor, but whatever. So there's that. But you know what? Not saying that this is not an important conversation to have. I've always thought about stuff like this. Okay, and at this point, I'm going to be well. Let's see what she has to say. Hold on.
Sometimes they don't go too well. People get offended and they just start, doing this in the comments. But the men in these comments, like amazing men and very positive men, right? And they took on this question and the question is doing what brother wanted it to do, and what I'm hoping is going to do here, and is, going to do anywhere else the video lands, make people start thinking. Because like I said, it's from when you start thinking, that's when you start, having ideas, and that's when room for improvement to start to occur, all that good stuff, right?
Let me just stop right there. You all can go watch the rest of her. One thing I will say though, I have been thinking about this kind of thing before, so much so that I asked a very I don't want to say prominent. I don't think he's well known outside of this space, outside of the black space. Dare I say black empowerment space? Okay, but I asked this man. What was it? What was it? Sorry, I mean, I know what I asked him, but I just want to find a way to say it that it comes out in a logical. It makes sense when it came out. I asked him, what is to stop, and I'm more or less paraphrasing myself. Black people built up all this stuff in the past, and it got destroyed. What is to stop black people? What is to stop our stuff from getting destroyed again if we build it up, especially in today's day and age where, say, the government can claim, oh my God, national security, right? The convenient catch-all term if nothing else works, right? Or it comes back and gets terrorist bombed, and then there's not a single Middle Eastern person anywhere, there's no Muslims anywhere, or anybody else that might, or hell, it's black people, it could be anybody really that just wants to not see us advanced as a whole entire group. One or two is fine, but after that, right? So between terrorists, this, and national security, that, our shit gets destroyed. What's to stop that from happening again? Black Wall Street style. And his thing was that in Black Wall Street, they had every single thing that black people needed except a gun shop. Apparently that was the one thing that Black Wall Street did not have. If they had that, it wouldn't have went the way it went. Actually, let's switch this over now. Anybody knows what this is from my other videos? Because certainly you've been watching my shit, right? This is a range bag that it's a range bag. And I have more of these. I bought a 60-pack off Temu. Thanks, Chinese. Yes. Feel me? See that? It's empty. It's empty. It's empty. It's empty. And I say that, or show you this, to say, black people, first off, before we go building stuff, because we tried that, and it wasn't just black Americans that tried that. Before we go building stuff, just to have it taken away from us again, okay? We need to be able to protect stuff first. It is best if the men and the women, the men first, obviously, because of course men first, then the women, and then the kid or kids plural. It is in black people's best interest that all blacks, are able to protect themselves. Protect themselves and their property. Okay? That is the first thing. In real life and also in video games. See this right here? Where is it? Oh, but it only has... Okay, I do not have this screen. I can't show you this screen because it only goes to this screen over here where this woman is. But anyway, in the corner here, in fact, I'll just do it. I'll just do it real quick. Real quick on the fly. Boom. I shall take new. Just real quick. And then let's do it like this. Real quick. Come on. Did it do it right? Yes. See this game right here? Civilization 3. Even in that game, you cannot go, especially on conquest mode, goddamn, but pretty much any mode, you cannot go building up anything, be it conquest mode, where it's literally to go wipe out as many people as you can and be the only one standing, or space race mode, cultural mode, whatever. Even in that game, anybody who doesn't know what Civilization, the game Civilization by Sid Meier's, go look it up. You need to be able to protect stuff. Okay? You need to be able to protect your own things. Military, army, whatever. Okay, fine. But on an individual sense or a group sense, same exact thing. You need to be able to protect things. So, we can sit here and talk about all of what, women being able to clap back and stuff. Again, why the hell black women? Why the hell you with all these other women anyway, especially white, but all these other women, more than just passing nod and then going about your business. Okay? But short of that, before we go trying to build stuff and control stuff, we need to be able to protect stuff, which means training from martial arts to firearms to, and then of course having the healthy physical and mental healthy body to even use these things. Okay? You're not protecting shit with your bare hands if you're 300 pounds and 5 feet tall. Okay? Likewise, you're 7 feet tall and only 100 pounds. Okay. This is where I said earlier in the video, hey, you don't need the medical industry if you just all natural, all raw food diet, minimal meat, okay, water, exercise, right? Herbs and all that business, right? After we get that down to where whatever the hell we build, we can actually protect. At least mounts, even if we lose, or it's a Pyrrhic victory or something, we at least can do something. It's not going to end up like Black Wall Street again. After that, then we can talk about, alright, what the hell can we go control, if anything? But until then, not that I don't want us to control stuff as a group or as a race or whatever, but if it's just going to end up like Black Wall Street again, I'm not wasting my time. I'm just going to go live my life and try to enjoy it, and when I die, I die. Okay? So, I'm already trying to do that considering that I'm about to be single comes October. Well, I'm about to move out, but I'm going to be single within the next year. I think y'all remember that whole thing. And I have no kids at 37. I'm going to be 38 February 20th. Right? I'm all for helping. And of course, this also means that it's going to need to be black people as a whole, which means this whole FBA exclusion bullshit needs to end, right? All of it needs to end, and African people thinking of black Americans as whatever, or non-Africans or whatever. I don't hear Caribbeans really having this exclusionary type shit, or the British blacks either. Especially Caribbeans. I don't hear them really having it. Black Americans are on this FBA foolishness, or whatever the fuck they're calling themselves this week. ADOS, DOSA, B1, F1, A, and FB. Okay. Africans with their Akata this and... okay. But you know what? Hey, you know what? Fine. We want to have our little groups, our little fiefdoms. Fine. Fine. I don't care. But whether we're all united, okay. Organized, centralized, come as one, to quote Budger Banton. Or we all stay in our own separate little groups as long as we're able to control shit. I mean, protect stuff. Then we can control stuff. Okay? And of course, obviously, if they see black people as a global whole being on this firearms and training stuff, obviously they're gonna be a little bit weary of that they, them, and we're not talking about just whites. We're also talking about white supremacy in non-white skin casing, right? The non-blacks, be they white or anybody else, they're gonna be, what's going on over here? How do I know that's gonna happen? Because it happens with me. I've been to a number of gun shows. I've been to a number of different 2A and firearm related stuff, and I've been like one of, in a couple cases I was the only black person there, and in other cases I was like one of maybe like 3 black people, 3, 4, 5 at the most, and we were looked at like, are you lost? It might as well have been 12 a.m., 12 midnight, 12 a.m. in some sundown town, the way they were looking at us, right? So, there's that. Go get the training and go get the training, the firearm training, martial art training, the protection training, the protective training, tactical training. Fine. After that, I say we go actually control the shit from out the ground straight to the manufacturer of the actual item. And I mean that as far as guns and ammo. I can't name a single gun maker or ammunition maker that's African. Black or not even African, just black owned and operated. 100%. I don't know, or any percent, much less 100%. I don't know of any. So wherever the hell in Africa has the metals that we got to pull out the ground, we need to control that. Metal to make the guns. I am in favor of all metal guns. I don't do polymers, if anybody knows me. Metals to make the ammunition, the gunpowders, whatever. Okay. However we get that gunpowder or that stuff. China discovered gunpowder, I believe, but I don't think it's exclusive to them. I think you can probably use whatever raw materials is needed for that. You can get that from probably anywhere, if I'm not mistaken. Or hell, synthetic gunpowder. Doesn't have to be all natural. Whatever. Point is, you don't want to sit here and be relying on firearms from somebody else. Or protection from somebody else, right? You're going to want to have your own stuff, and they can't cut off the supply by saying, oh, well, we control the mines that have these metals now. Or, oh, well, we control the companies that make these guns, so we're going to find some way to not sell it to the blacks. Some way. And I say some way because they might have to get real creative, because black people, we're really not getting incarcerated like that, you know? I mean, I'm sure you can look at these stats and stuff like that, but that stuff has been going down. Like, Gen Y, Gen Z black men, of course, yeah, we've been on the planet less than, say, Gen X or Boomer black men, fine, okay. But as time goes on, less and less black men are getting in the legal constraints to where their rights get taken away as far as owning firearms. So, you know, so anyway, 40 minutes. I just saw the 40-minute mark go by. It's now 43, 44, 45, 40 and 5 seconds. That's it. Again, go and give this lady the views. Okay. Her video was 37 minutes and 12 seconds, and I have only played 10 minutes and 11, the first 10 minutes and 11 seconds of it in this entire, what's got to be over an hour-long video. But that is a solution that I give. A 3-part solution. Number 1, black women, to all these other non-black women, and then go on about your day. Go get your own private spa, your own private pool or whatever, and enjoy peace and quiet. Okay? Not be yakking with drinks with these other women and they're talking crazy. Because again, AI and automation can make all of them null and void. Black peoples as a whole, and I guess black men specifically, with black women in tow, we need to be able to protect shit first before we start building. I can't think of a single point in time where stuff can get built first, and we got to sit there and hope to God that nobody comes and takes it. Hell, again, even in that same civilization, that same civilization game, if you try that, if you try to just, oh, we'll just build and build and create and create and create. The cultural victory, right? Not even the space race, but the cultural victory. Hordes of barbarians come up. They come up and they raid the place, right? And they get stronger as the game goes on. And as people discover more stuff, like, you know, so there is literally no way. You must protect shit first before you start building stuff. You need to protect stuff. That game Civilization is civilization. It is to mirror, oh, all my screens went off? Okay, good. It is to mirror real life. So, there you go. There you go. So, that's it. Thank you to this man. Interesting name, this man. Sewer Bum on TikTok. I do not have TikTok. Interesting question. I did not feel any attack from his question, because in all honesty, I've had that question as well. I mean, not directly that, but more, not so much so black women can go and, right, to all these other women, but more of, hey, black people were doing good in the past, and this was post-slavery, so we don't even include slavery. This was after slavery. So what the hell happened? And that led us to the answer. We need to be able to control, we need to be able to protect shit. And then it would also help if our protection was not based off of some other company giving us the means to protect ourselves. We need to control, at the risk of sounding communist or socialist or whatever the hell else it is, we need to control the means of production in terms of our protection. That sounds like a quote that I could be known for. You all heard that here first. That's me, that's mine. Anyway, that's it. It is 12:39 a.m. I'm going to make sure 12:40 a.m. I'm going to go get my ass some sleep. That is something else that black people needs. All people need. And I'm going to go enjoy it. Later.